All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good Saturday morning. What is going on? Happy Saturday to everybody. I think you could see me and hear me, but maybe somebody give me like a little thumbs up in the comments or something so that I know. We will have Squishy and I think Mark as well pop in. I know Squishy's on vacation. Mark is a very busy guy as always, so they will be popping in when they can. But happy to see everybody here. See some bets already popping into the chat right here. So good morning, good morning. All right, Rowdy Hockey. He gave me the little bicep pump there. So I think that means we're all good. Come on, I am Stanek. He says, "What about a thumbs down if we hear you?" I would hope it'd be a thumbs up, but I guess a thumbs down also. That comment gives me a little bit of gives me a little bit of notice that you guys can hear me. So good morning. Thank you for popping into Extra Innings. I know as the summer goes on, man, that beautiful weather starts kicking up. It is gorgeous outside. I'm gonna try to get outside as soon as possible. Try to get a little sun on my skin. And we have some later games here today. Of course, we got the Yankees at 1:00. We get the Tigers and Astros at 1:00. So a couple of early day games here for those two. But then everything else is 3 p.m. Eastern or later tonight. There's actually 3 games you can't see that I cut off here. For 3 late games out west. So we could talk about those at some point as well. Let me pull up this. That is way too big on my screen. It's Padres and Dodgers, Yamamoto and Vasquez, Braves Giants with Logan Webb and Bryce Elder, and then A's and Angels with Reed Detmers and I'm forgetting his first name, Jack Perkins. Geez. So those are the 3 games cut off that you can't see right here. Otherwise, you could see every other game. And as you can see, I mean, pretty much 6 o'clock on for almost everything. I mean, you have 6 games here. I guess we would say early. And if you're West Coast, of course, those 4 o'clock games become 1 o'clock games. So that makes, those a bit early for you too. But I'm just going to probably talk about some of the earlier games here. Let some of the night games, some of those lineups and, piece of info kind of trickle out, and we can maybe make some decisions on those later games. If you have anything really specific that you want to talk about that you don't want to miss, let me know for any games 6 p.m. Eastern or later. But wanted to at least mention the Phillies game, the Yankees game. Had a couple questions on Dylan Cease and Chase Burns earlier for strikeouts in the Sportsline Discord. So those, were games that I wanted to naturally talk about anyways. Just so happens that they are 3 and 4 p.m. Eastern. So I think that's kind of where we'll start. If you have anything else, let me know. But let's kind of kick it off. And one thing I do want to do here, actually, let me pull this up. Maybe this is how we'll start it, because I don't even know what to say happened on this play. So I'm going to pull up the full game video here. I had Kyle Schwarber over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs last night. I also had Paul Skeens over 7.5 strikeouts. So it was a pretty brutal night where Schwarber had a hit in the first inning. And what I'm going to show you here is that Trey Turner had led the game off with a double. Hold on, let me switch this to here. Schwarber led the game, or Turner led the game off with a double. Schwarber comes up and immediately hits a single right after him. And I haven't even seen it. So, full disclosure, living in New York, I can't see Mets games unless I pay for SNY. I kind of refuse to pay for SNY because the only reason would be to see Mets games. I'm not a Mets fan. I don't really have a reason to watch the Mets. When they play teams that I care about, then I care about it. So I'm going to try to figure out. Let me do this. And I don't know if I can swap this to another browser. I don't think I can, but we'll try. Okay, well, anyways, the story goes that Schwarber hit a single directly after a leadoff double and didn't get an RBI. So we're going to figure out why that is. going to look into what the heck could have possibly happened. And forgive me here as I try to sign into my account, but it's not pulling up my info. I don't know why, so I'm having to like try to find my info to get into my account here. There we go. That was way too hard. All right, so let's pull up. And they did score in the first inning. Don't get me like they scored a run. It just like why was it first and third here? I don't understand. All right, so let me pull this up. Let's see. Let's watch it as a team here. And
Turner had to freeze.
Turner had to freeze, is what he says, because it's a line drive. Come on. What are we doing here?
An opportunity in one of the games. Line drive, base hit.
He didn't have to freeze. That was never going to be caught. He had to freeze. That was never going to be caught.
Opportunity. Phillies went without a home run in the series.
This is an abomination. So this is why you don't get Schwarber hit run RBI, because the rest of the game he didn't do anything. He just walked.
An opportunity in one of the games. Line drive.
I mean, what are we freezing for? It's not even close to the second baseman, bro. Just get a read off the bat one time, Trey Turner.
With nobody out.
One time, man.
You already saw the first two hitters in this lineup.
Schwarber doesn't come around to score. He walks multiple times, I believe.
One internet price, 5 years guaranteed.
I think he flew out to center a couple times. Freaking ridiculous way to not get a hit run RBI. Anyways, that's how that ended up. And I can't believe that. I cannot believe he did not score. He's your leadoff man. Now I get it. Like, you don't want to get doubled off. It's the first inning. You just let off with a double. There's no outs. Freeze. All right, fine. Like, I get it. But I feel like on the replay, that wasn't even close to the second base. Like, he didn't even make an effort to try to catch it. It wasn't even close. Oh, man. And then Paul Skeens. I'm not even going to pull the Paul Skeens video up, but Paul Skeens was terrible for like one inning. Like literally just one inning, the Reds turned into like murderer's row. And they just were hitting everything. He was struggling, laboring. It was like 30-pitch inning. He had like 40 pitches after 2 innings. He still ended up with 7 strikeouts. And I think he only had 2, maybe it was 3, but it might have been 2 strikeouts after 2 innings. Like, he really struggled and still ended up with 7 strikeouts. So I guess I could maybe lead it into there with the fact that I think Jared Jones probably grabbed some strikeouts here today as well. Jared Jones, let's look at maybe. I know he got hit in the elbow last time. They said he was fine. Like all the imaging and everything came back good. So I have at least in my opinion, I should have no issues betting on Jared Jones today. It does look like there's potential for some more wet weather than yesterday. There was like worries yesterday that it was going to rain. But it looks like today is maybe the spot where it would rain instead of yesterday. If you look at Jones since, I guess let's look at Jones just since like the start of May. When exactly did he come back? So it was in May. Yeah. Just Jared Jones since coming back since the start of May. If you want to look at it from there, it's about a 14% swinging strike rate. If we want to look at how his pitches are doing whiff rate wise, but more so the point is that like, even though Skeens was so terrible for that inning, he really wasn't great regardless. Like his fastball velocity looked like it was a bit down potentially. I have to dig into some of the numbers. It really looked like he was searching for an out pitch, a strikeout pitch, truthfully, in some of those 2-strike counts. I mean, he had multiple hitters at 2 strikes and just couldn't finish him off. And this is a Reds team that will gift you strikeouts. It looks like the Reds are probably going to just be a continue to bet against team for strikeouts. Man, we crushed from a Cam Schlittler when he went for 13 or for whatever it was. And they just continue to strike out. The lineup yesterday actually would have, it should have played more to Skeen's advantage as well. You had Noelvi Marte out of the lineup. You had Matt McLain in the lineup. The projected lineup actually had Marte in and McLain out. You're in that case swapping out. It would have been you swapped out Matt McLain's 28%, almost 29% strikeout rate against righties for Marte, which is around 20%. Yeah, 20.5. So you were switching those two guys out of the lineup. It gave you a lineup of Reds hitters here. If you looked at what Skeen's face last night is likely similar. I didn't look into if Marte was hurt. I would assume he's back in there today. I really kind of just starting to get my day going here too. So got to look into that one. Projected lineup at least does have Marte in there. So probably not injured, just a day off. But like I said, that's, then you're swapping McLain for Marte, 29% K rate versus 20%. That's big if you get that in the lineup. And then it does look like Jose Trevino, because it's a day game after a night game. Trevino in there instead of Stevenson. I will say Stevenson didn't give me anything last night. So, trading him out for Trevino really doesn't matter to me in terms of comparing last night to today, because, Trevino's a 13% strikeout rate. Last year, it was, around the 14%, 15% last year. So he's not a high strikeout guy. You're going to get Stevenson, looking at him on the season as like a 26% rate guy. But recently, Stevenson had brought that down to about 20%. Like I said, he didn't strike out for me at all against Skeens, so didn't help me. But you do get Trevino in there. So it looks like maybe a little bit of a better Reds lineup here today. Maybe we'll take an approach of some at-bat strikeouts, but I don't mind Jared Jones getting plus money for over 5.5 strikeouts. Like I said, got hit in the elbow last time. There were issues there with, of course, pulling him early, but he had 3 strikeouts in 3 innings. The couple of starts before that weren't great, but it was against the Dodgers and the Athletics at the Athletics. 4 strikeouts in 4 innings apiece there. He needs to turn the strikeouts up maybe a little bit, but the underlying stuff doesn't look bad at all. If you look at, and I do see we just got Mark in here, so we're going to get Mark/Rob, the Wizard, in here in a moment. But if you look at Jones on the actual pitch mix, 9 Ks on the 4-seamer so far this year, only a 27% whiff rate. 5 Ks on each of the slider and changeup. You're looking at 35 and 37, 38% whiff rate on those. So I guess those aren't, for your breaking pitch and your off-speed pitch, those aren't bad. I'll take 37%, but would like to see it above 40, and then that's where the curveball comes in. Only 2 strikeouts on the curve, but you use much less as a put-away pitch, it looks like, but still on that pitch, a 43% whiff rate. That's what I would hope he would lean on for some strikeouts today. If you look, the curve last year was his most dominant strikeout pitch. It looks like, yeah. No. You know what? I'm looking at the slider, not the curve. Regardless, the slider or the curve, he needs to focus on some breaking pitches here today. The fastball is fine if you want to lean on it. 98 minimum velocity. Like, it looks like the velocity is there. And I say last year, I meant 2 years ago. But it looks like the velocity has returned, right, for Jared Jones. So the thing is with this Reds team, like it's a lot of those breaking pitches, those sliders, those curveballs. You definitely want those higher whiff breaking pitches that these right-handed hitters specifically then, can whiff at, kind of moving away from them in the strike zone. Then you're playing off a fastball that kind of comes at them and a slider and curveball that kind of move away from them. Just at its most basic form of thinking about it. And then you look at their strikeout rates and it makes sense. So that's what I would hope he would lean more on today. Jared Jones is those slider, curveball, the breaking pitches, but the fastball might be able to get it done too at 98. It just looked like Skeens was missing that extra oomph yesterday. And if Jared Jones can bring that, I could definitely see him going up the ladder. You're going to start it at 6 too, which is, solid in my opinion. He hit 6 in his first start back. Like I said, the underlying stuff looks good. On the other side, you get another high strikeout guy in Chase Burns. Kind of interesting though. And let me bring everyone to the stage because I would love to see if we have any takes on Jared Jones and Chase Burns. Good morning, Squishy. Good morning, Mark/Rob the Wizard. Better day.
Good morning.
And Squishy, hopefully you're having a great vacation. You said vacation, Squishy, in there. Vacation, Squishy.
A great time.
See that. Really quick, before I touch on Chase Burns, who I truthfully don't love a great deal today. The number's kind of getting away from us, the betting number at 6.5. So, then you're looking at starting a ladder at plus money there at over 7.5. Any thoughts on these games? But give it to us after you tell us quickly about your vacation. And while I find my White Sox hat for Jen. Squishy, are you, can we hear you?
Very good. Can you
okay, there we go. Now we can hear you.
All right. So we're in San Francisco right now. We got to watch the Giants have a back-breaking game yesterday, but it was a lot of fun. And it's just been a blast here. I'm with my family, and I really I can't beat family. I love family. So this is just chicken soup. It's great.
Is that not one of the most beautiful baseball parks you've seen?
It's wonderful. First of all, that big Coke bottle is a playground for the kids.
Right. This is years ago, but it was my dad and I I was out in Oakland actually doing some business, and our schedule ended up clearing, and it just so happened that the Giants were playing a day game against the Padres. And so we were like, what the hell? Let's go to a baseball game. So we went out to the park. It was absolutely gorgeous. Just the setting, the weather. For a day baseball game. You're not sweating. You're not getting beat down by the sun. Sun was out, but it was always a nice mild temperature. It was just a beautiful, beautiful way to take in a game.
It's gorgeous. It really is lovely. The kids had a wonderful time. I know some people don't really love the bleachers, how they don't have a backing to the seats, but I don't know. I loved it. You can climb over seats. It's very easy. Crowd was fun. People are fun. It wasn't the outcome they wanted, but it was a great, fun time. I'm telling you, there's so much to do there. There's literally just so much to do at that ballpark.
You should have told Big Cheesy you were on your way out there. He would have loved to meet up with you.
I know. This was we actually were at the game. We were like, oh, we're gonna go to the game. We just hopped up there, and of course the price was beautiful as well.
Perfect.
You can't beat it.
Hey,
I love
regarding these games,
I know Squishy had sent me a couple photos, so I'd love to see that. That was awesome to see you and the kids at the game, and some awesome photos from the game that you sent, some beautiful looking shots of the park. So good on you for getting out to that one and enjoying. And I like that hat you've got on as well.
I got it right before the game.
Yeah, that's a nice one there.
Classic.
So Scott here said, and I'm going to pull this up. So once Skeens left the game, I kind of had turned that game off. But this gives me a good reason to say this, that he says Marte actually came in the game later and hit a 2-run dinger to win it. So he's healthy, certainly should be back in there today, just a day off yesterday for him. And as I mentioned, a lower strikeout rate for him versus McLean. So it doesn't help Jared Jones. But something interesting, and as I pull this up so we can see it real quick, is that I generally every morning, and I think it would make everyone a better baseball bettor if you do this. It's free as well. I think they make you maybe make an account. But the MLB app, MLB TV, I believe you can access the MLB app, but if you have bring it up on your computer or your TV or something like that. But it's generally about 45 minutes, and it's like a recap that the MLB does of all the previous day's games. So it's just a nice highlight reel, and you're able to kind of see stuff like this where, hey, Marte is the one that hit that game-winning home run. So you knew from the start of the game he was out of the lineup because you're betting on Paul Skeens. You turn the game off. When Skeens leaves, you see that they win, but you just don't know how. Instead of having to go dig for that information, it's kind of just a nice, concise way to take 40 minutes a day and just kind of see what happened there. So real quick, this is, I'm going to pull it up for you here. Why did that Okay, here we go. So this is how Marte wins the game from the right side of the plate.
Payoff is smashed to left field. Reynolds fading fast, and that is gone!
Barely makes it out, too.
A 2-run shot for Noelvi Marte.
So pinch hit,
Reds
2-run homer
6-4
against Seth Montgomery, right? This is their best.
Is smashed to left field. Reynolds fading fast, and that is gone.
Good on him for that one, man. That's tip of the cap there.
Good transition too.
Tip of the cap
came out beautiful.
Tip of the cap there to him. Yeah, so he's healthy and back in there. I don't know if you guys do that. Do you ever watch that video on MLB TV?
I do. I don't. So prescription. Oh my God, wrong word. I it's early here, guys. It's 8. Subscription. I have a subscription to MLB.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to have it, but you may need to have it. But regardless, I think that's one of the best things that they put out. It's like called their daily recap or home run recap or something like that. And I think it's just a really good way. Like I throw it on in the background. I kind of, if I know what happened in a specific game, I pay less attention to that segment than, when one comes up where maybe I don't exactly know what happened. So yeah, D Johnson said Skeens choked, but it was literally for like the 41st pitch, the first 40 pitches of the game. It was terrible. Then he had us hanging on because we were at 7 strikeouts, and he goes the entire 5th inning without getting a strikeout. So that was brutal. I thought we were going to, he had 7 and 4 innings actually. And didn't get anything in the 5th. Yeah, just a terrible way for that one to end. So I think Jared Jones could get some strikeouts here. It looks like current prices are still probably in the plus odds. I'd have to think. I don't think the 6th strikeout was anybody was really liking it today. Yeah, plus 104 at FanDuel.
I'll tell you what, Amags, if talk about that Reds Pirates game, if you are not betting on Eugenio Suarez to strike out on every one of his at bats, you are leaving. It's usually at plus 175 to plus 200 when you're live betting it. He has almost a 40% strikeout rate over the last 15 games. He cannot hit a breaking ball to save his life. He's got a 54% whiff rate on breaking balls. It's absolutely pathetic, and he is a ATM as far as just taking those strikeout bets.
So, and you guys could still hear me, right? Because I'm on a different tab. You could hear me. You can see me.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I knew that Skeens was off last night, because if you're going to go over your strikeout prop against the Reds, Suarez is going to be one of your strikeouts.
Yeah, Suarez is going to account for at least 2.
At minimum 1, he has to. If you come to me and you say to me, did I go over or under my strikeout prop? I don't even need to know what the number is, right? Maybe I guess if it's like 3 or 4, then maybe it's a different story. But like if it's 5 or more, did this person go over their strikeout prop? The only piece of info you have is Suarez struck out 2 times. You'd probably say, yeah, I think he probably went over, right? And that's a pretty good guess. But if I tell you he struck out 0 times, I think the answer every time is going to be, you did not go over your prop.
That was an under.
Yeah. And so that's exactly what happened with Skeens last night. He could not get Suarez. So after, and I'm going to show you guys here quick again as well. I like doing this. I don't know if you guys like doing this. I guess it's maybe a bit arduous because I have to go back and forth. We'll have a producer one day. But so he allows Nathaniel Lowe to get on base right here.
In terms of filling in for Stat,
I don't exactly remember how.
Said he's really glad to have Spence
base hit,
in the dugout to be able to pick his brain
base
too.
Hit,
but
hit like freaking 85 miles an hour, right?
Maybe next time.
Oh, it turns into a double. Look, Nathaniel Lowe would have scored from second base if he was standing there when Schwarber hit that ball. This guy motored into second easily. Trey Turner couldn't get there. Anyways, so look at Suarez.
First inning in the game.
So first pitch here to Suarez up. He tried to do this the whole game, fastball up. He kept going fastball up to Suarez, and I'm like, throwing the dang breaking pitch.
Inning, the game
he kept going fastball up, fastball up.
The second inning starts
so
with a double from Nathaniel
I can show you the second at bat after this, but this is the first at bat, second pitch here. This is where he labors in the second inning.
And pass diving.
Just somehow puts the bat on the ball. Like he's not getting beat by this fastball in any way. What this is a fastball, is it not? Sinker, yeah, exactly. 97-mile-an-hour sinker, a variation of the fastball. He's not getting beat on any of it. So that was the first at bat, the first time around.
Here, 2 outs.
And this is the second time around. He's got him in a 1-1 count.
All for Venezuela.
Sorry. So strike one, fine. Fastball, swing and miss, but he kept going fastball up the entire game. Okay, fouled off, right? And look at this. This is how you know Paul Skeens didn't have it, right? Look at what Skeens does here when this ball goes up. He says, come here. Come back into play.
In play maybe for Davis.
He's like, it's right there. Go catch it. Oh, no. All right, it's out. It's out. Okay. Like, he wants the ball to be caught. He doesn't care. Okay, now I got him 0-2. It doesn't matter. I'm going to strike him out. Like, he did not have that mentality last night. Did not have that killer instinct, it seemed, at all. And to be honest, he did that quite a few times where he was like pointing up, like come on, like catch it. He was not caring. Okay, I'll just take a foul ball and strike him out after this.
Suarez back to Cincinnati.
Fastball up.
And Suarez playing a lot of third base.
And I don't even hate that pitch. It was well out of the zone. Fine.
I do. Why are you not feeding this guy that? Exactly. You're up 2 strikes.
But look, fastball up again. Back-to-back fastballs up. He's not getting beat. Just throw him the freaking
nothing but curveballs
with the Reds.
I don't even mind the one that's like way out of the strike zone up. Fine, like elevate him there, like fine. But and now that's why he wasn't throwing it, because he couldn't locate that pitch whatsoever last night. He had zero command on it. He was allowing some of them to really just float into the zone, and then other ones he's just yanking them. No sharp break. Like you'll see there another fastball up, fouls it off, but this is like a completely uncompetitive pitch. The pitch before it, this slider right here, is just so non-competitive. Out of the hand, you're like, I'm not swinging. It's just out. It's just out the entire time. You're never thinking about swinging it. So he fouls that pitch off, and then. This is, I think he hits this. No. So he gets to that one, but you can kind of see the location from one slider to the next. So he yanks one, and then this one hangs up in the zone a bit, right? Like that. Like that's a bit of a hanger in the zone.
And he pulls the slider foul.
That's not on the edge, not just off the left. Like if that pitch is just off the left edge of the plate there, if you're looking at the plate from the pitcher's view,
not made like easy.
That's a strikeout. This game. But he floated it in the zone, and it's just sitting there.
66 pitches.
So let's see what he did after this.
Third.
I know he hits it in play. Yeah, and then same pitch.
So far this game.
Same, and I know they're classifying one as a slider, one as a sweeper.
Pitches.
I know they're a bit different, but he's still letting this sweeper just hang in the zone, man. He had no sharp break on that whatsoever at all. And I get the sweeper is supposed to have. I get it. But it's still a breaking ball. It's still a breaking ball that needs to have some ability to have that sharp break. If you really want to use that sweeper all the way across the zone, then it's got to end out of the zone. It can't be ending, slightly below a center cut pitch. Like it's just not where you wanted him to be last night. So, yeah, that was the essence of Paul Skeens last night. And to your point, Eugenio Suarez was on every single one of those 97-mile-an-hour fastballs that were up. He swung through one of them one time. One whiff from Eugenio Suarez is not going to get it done if you want to go over your strikeout prop. So to your point, I think he probably strikes out more. Like I would be fine just continuing to bet it. Last night was just unfortunately not the one.
And against Jones, I like it again today. I think that Suarez has a banger of a strikeout game, if you will.
Well, I wouldn't even mind going up the ladder on the strikeouts if you want to bet, 2 or 3. if you look at Suarez against right-handed fastballs, it's a 37% strikeout rate this year. I think it was similar last year, if not, all right, 28% last year. So it still wasn't good, but significantly higher even. So Jones is going to give you 98, 99 instead of a consistent 96, 97 like we saw from Skeens. And that might just be enough there to give you instead of those foul balls on the fastballs high, now they're going to be swings through, whiffs, swings through it. So, yeah, I'm definitely eyeing Jones at plus money for the over 5.5 to start a ladder there because he doesn't need to do a ton, in my opinion, to get over that number and have a solid day. Like he just needs to not be hitting the elbow, not get hit like he needs to just not get hit in the elbow is kind of the story.
In-game delay.
So
no hits in the elbow and no in-game delays.
No hits in the elbow, no in-game delays. I'm just looking quick here to see if we have any plays specific to this game. Good to see Jen. Good to see Jeff in here. He said he's got a birthday party to attend today. Jeff, didn't you have like people over last week? Like your social life is like significantly better than mine. So good on you. But he says have a birthday to attend to.
That's what happens down in Florida versus New York, Max.
Very true. Need a 6-leg parlay. Give me your favorite play. You get extra credit if it's plus money. So,
although I gotta be honest,
I don't know if that's like he's telling us it's his birthday or he's going to someone's birthday, but either way, happy birthday to you or whoever you're going to their birthday party. Happy birthday to one of you.
It's definitely somebody's birthday.
Good to see Gus Dawson in here as well.
Birthday parties.
Gus Dawson. We've got Jen. We've got D. Johnson. And Gus said, Ozzy, my 8-year-old, starts this morning watching that almost every day. So I'm glad to hear that you're watching that. I think it's a pretty useful tool, honestly. Something that's rather easy to do. You know what's funny is it's usually about 45 minutes. Sometimes though, when you get the shorter slate, it's like 20 to 30 minutes. And I look at that and I love that. Oh, that's so easy. Like you just toss it on real quick. Who doesn't have 20 minutes, right?
To me, it sounds like Gus has Ozzy doing his research for him. So he's got a little statistician.
Might be. Well, Gus, this research might have come from his son. It says Suarez 2+ home runs plus 6,200, 3 units.
And look what he put down just below that. He's parlaying the 2 home runs and 2 Ks.
Oh man, you know what? I like that a whole lot more than just the 2 home runs. A negative correlation on that. The negative correlation there. You are quite literally just predicting all 4 of his at bats. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So Jones, Jones, it looks like on the ladder, just under plus 200 here on FanDuel. I guess you could shop around, see if you get a better price with FanDuel's. Plus 100 for 6, plus 194, plus 390, plus 750. I really like the 750 and 390 a lot more than that 194 for the 7 strikeout. But I believe those are probably some of the better prices you're going to get out there. So,
hey, Max, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Mark Timoney just said hi. He's from Hobart, Tasmania. It's 1:30 in the morning here.
Mark, thank you for joining us. Hobart, Tasmania. Mark, if you wouldn't mind, tell me what brought you here. What were you thinking about to come here and watch the show? Because I really appreciate that. Throw me a subscribe if you can. We always are here every Saturday.
He's
talking about baseball.
He's a big nerfy guy.
Yeah, you.
I have no idea.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe you do know him. Maybe you know him. Well, Mark, regardless, thank you for being here. And then Gus said, his son also called a Matt Olson home run. Oh, we got I'm Stanek giving Jeff a play, but I gotta give a little shout out here to soccer and the Croatia team total over 5.5. Is that for real? over 5.5 is plus 130. Is that a real line right now? Like, are they really supposed to win by such a significant margin like that? Wow. I would assume they're going to win if you're taking a team total that's at 5.5. I couldn't imagine.
You want the other end of that spectrum. There is an anomaly happening today in the World Cup where neither the Algerian team or the Austrian team want to win.
I've already bet the draw.
They're playing each other. I bet the correct score at 0-0.
I think that was about plus 400 or something when I took that, and then I took the draw as well.
Yeah. Neither one of these teams has any incentive to win. In fact, the winner gets Spain in the knockout round as their next game. If neither team wins and it is a draw, there's a very good likelihood that they end up going to different spots in the bracket because of their points, which means that they don't have to face Spain. So, yeah, that's a little bonus soccer play.
No, I love that.
That
and then
is
Jeff said
Algeria and Austria, right?
Yep.
Jeff gave us the real number because Stanek said, I'm really hungover and words are hard. So Jeff said Croatia's at 1.5 for plus 120. So, okay, Stanek said total corners at 5.5. I have no idea what the thought process is about betting corners, but I love it. I love it. Whatever that was, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So any thoughts on Chase Burns or Jared Jones? It seems like this is a game a lot of people are keying in on for strikeouts. I don't have either of them as like a significantly great play, truthfully. But they both do have, a lot of upside. And if you look at their opponents, especially Jared Jones, there's some strikeouts to be had. But you've even got some strikeouts here in the lineup for Chase Burns, especially towards the bottom of the lineup. Griffin, Marcelo Ozuna, Callahan, all guys that are striking out. You'll even get some strikeouts up the lineup too at times. Brandon Lau strikes out. Henry Davis at the bottom there. Henry Davis strikes out as well.
From like a first inning standpoint, the Reds have been a team to target. I don't care whether they're on the road or at home this year for no run first inning. If you're doing a team-specific parlay, they have been a great team to target, especially over the last 30 days when they're on the road. The challenge with betting a Nerfy in that game is that the Pirates have been absolutely phenomenal at scoring runs early. They lead the league in yes-run first innings when they're at home and on the road. So,
do you have Chase Burns' Nerfy record there in front of you?
Yeah, he's 7-0 on the road.
So I would love to know maybe like what his, not that you have this info, but like what like the second inning record or like second inning total runs. Because I feel like every time I've bet on him, within the first inning or two, like something is going awry. Like it always feels like there's just men on base for no reason. Now maybe I'm remembering and then he got out of the trouble that I'm remembering. So, there wasn't an actual run scored. But it just feels like the last few times I've bet on him for strikeouts or for like a first 5, he's allowed like a run or two. And I'm like behind the 8 ball really quickly.
Hold on one second. I can tell you right now, which is the beauty of having our own database.
And while you do that, I've got to go get some water. Hold on. Well, tell me right now, real quick. Would you have it?
Yeah. So Chase Burns, do you want it on the road or just for the season?
Just overall.
Chase Burns, he's faced 57 batters in the second inning. He's got a 0.6 ERA in the second inning. He's given up just 1 run.
Real.
5 walks, 17 strikeouts in the second inning. Opponent batting average of 173. WOBA is at 246. Or excuse me, 209. 209.
Maybe it's those walks I'm remembering. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna look into it. Maybe I'll go back through his last few starts and just like look at when I bet on him. Because I've been sitting there like sweating a couple first 5s with Chase Burns. Like I think we won them, but sometimes, man.
Now when he's on the road, where did he go? Right there. His walk rate jumps up tremendously on the road in the second inning. He's got almost a 12% walk rate.
That might be it. Mark, I don't know if you have any thoughts on some Nerfies. If you want to maybe give us a rundown, if there's anything you like out there today, Nerfy, Yerfy. I was actually thinking for a Yerfy potentially in like the Twins Rockies game, just with Lorenzen on the mound, and I don't actually dislike Paredes all that much, but obviously you get Buxton in that first inning versus Lorenzen, like. That was kind of maybe the thought there for that one. I didn't really have too much more I was looking at for those, though. I'm going to grab some water. I'll be right back.
All right. So while you're doing that, I can tell you that I do have a 3-team Nerfy parlay that I like for today. It's the Chicago White Sox, the Atlanta Braves, and the Homeless Athletics, the A's. If you have the team-specific markets, they can be found at DraftKings, Bovada, Bet365, Fanatics has them. For a full game Nerfy, I think I like the Kansas City White Sox for a no-run first inning there. You got Michael Wacha and Davis Martin pitching for the Sox. Both guys have fairly decent pitcher profiles. Let me just pull that up real quick and get out of this Chase Burns second inning stuff. For Michael Wacha, you're looking at a guy. He's 8-1 to the Nerfy on the road. He's got a 24% strikeout rate. His walks a little high at 7.5%. But the Chicago offense at home has been absolutely horrific over the last 30 days. They're batting 140, 202 WOBA, only 6 hits, 11 strikeouts, 1 home run. Kansas City on the other side facing Davis Martin. He's 5-1 Nerfy at home. Little better strikeout rate, 44%. He's got a .83 first inning whip. The biggest challenge to this card is going to be with Kansas City's offense. They're batting 268 with a 396 WOBA, 19 first inning hits, 15 strikeouts, but they're also very disciplined at the plate. They've got 8 walks over the last 30 days in the first inning. They've also managed to crank out 6 home runs. So I do like Davis Martin being able to control that. He limits traffic enough that I think we see a really good, clean first inning there. Bless you. And at -115 was the Nerfy for that Royals White Sox game. I think that from a value standpoint, you're not paying a huge price tag, and you're getting 2 decent pitchers to get us through.
I usually really like Walker early. I really like that.
I like that a lot, actually. So as you were talking, I started to look into the question here from Michael. He says, any thoughts on Tigers team total over 4.5? This is another one of the early games, 1:00. He said, I know offense is difficult sometimes for Detroit, but they've just faced Tang a couple weeks ago and scored 5 runs in 3 1/3 innings with 3 home runs. And that was in Houston, I believe. Yeah, in Houston, 3 1/3. And he had a great start against Cleveland after that, since then. But that's the only start in between. And you look at Tang in that string of starts that kind of led into the start against Detroit. It was 3 runs earned and 4 walks in 5 innings. It was 4 runs and 2 walks in 5 innings after that, and 5 runs and 3 walks in 4 innings. And then, 5 runs, 3 home runs, 2 walks, 2 hit batsmen. How are you going to hit 4 batsmen across the, 2 starts there? Certainly some control issues. It looks like he's got the command back last start, but something to think about on that one is just that I do like Valdez on the other side. Mm-hmm. Valdez was great against Houston last time he faced him. Really, I just think he has to get through the top part of the order. Like the bottom part of this order for the Astros really does nothing for me with Jake Myers, Bryce Matthews, and Christian Vasquez. So you've got to get through Jeremy Pena, Paredes, Altuve, Walker, Smith. But against the lefty, it looks like at least projected lineup-wise, Yordan not in there. I'm not sure if we're like 100% sure if he's going to get a day off. But hold on. This is a confirmed lineup. He's not in there today. Confirmed lineup doesn't have Yordan in there today. So that actually – I actually didn't realize these were fully confirmed. So, yeah, mean, I guess it's 11:45, right? It's a 1 o'clock game, so it makes sense for it to be confirmed an hour ahead of time. Great that Jordan's not in there. Even, I like Valdez even more then. So it makes me think that they're probably going to be winning the game and then potentially, going to lose the 9th inning at bat. So I guess something to think about if you're betting or wanting to bet against Tang. Maybe it's either on the earned runs. You're gonna probably have to go over 2.5. I'm assuming, or it might just be like a first 5 team total or even a first 7 team total. I guess at the first 7 team total, you guarantee yourself that you don't have to face Josh Hader. You at least guarantee that. So Detroit over 3.5 first 7, where you may only I guess the thought is if you're batting in the 9th inning, you're probably facing Josh Hader as the Tigers, right? If you're batting in the bottom of the 9th, I would assume you're either in a tough spot there where you've got to score some runs, or it's a close game. Now, if it's not a close game, maybe you don't get Hader, but still, I don't mind cutting off those final 2 at bats against some higher leverage relievers to go down a full run and get the same odds. I mean, pretty much same odds, -105 for over 3.5 Detroit in the first 7. I think that's maybe the way I would pivot off of 4.5. You can also get 3.5 in one swing, which is nice. Can't in 4.5. So any thoughts on that Detroit game? I do think I side with Detroit Valdez, especially now that we see Jordan's out.
I'm looking. I like that. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, in the last 5 games that Detroit has seen, where they're at home against right-handed pitching, they have gone over 4.5 in 4 of the last 5 games, putting up 11-5, 5, and 8 when they go over.
Love that.
So I do think that that's a great look, especially at plus money, to attack this game.
I like that, and I am trying to convince myself. I don't know why, on or off, but I like Valdez, man. His K line's 4.5.
I just think it's it's pretty big that Alvarez
Jordan's
is not in today. Yeah,
it takes away a potential walk.
Hey, all right. So real quick, I want to give Mark a shout out here. Mark said he watched Sportsline for a while. Thank you, Mark, for watching Sportsline for a while. He said then he's seen Mark/Rob/the Wizard/Better Days Ahead. So he's all seen his show, and that there's a lack of sports betting content on the weekends, especially shows. So thank you for popping in. I appreciate that, and I guess kind of part of the reason I've continued to do this show on Saturdays is because a lot of people have said that there's it's something that they want to watch, and it's maybe one of the only things out there.
What else you can't get? You know what else you can't get here? Australian rules football breakdowns on all the things happening that probably Mark is very well aware of.
There you go. I wouldn't mind that. Speaking of rules and logic in soccer, I'm standing to the logic behind the corners play. I think Croatia wants a point. Ghana is in and already plays pretty good defense, maybe he means. Not 100% sure. Oh, no, pretty bad defense, I think he means. Anyways, gave up 9 corners to England, so I think 6 is doable for Croatia. I couldn't tell you if that's right or wrong, but it sounds right. It makes sense to me. So, hey, I'm with you. I am standing. Where are we betting that? Where is that at, like MGM, I'm assuming? Something like that, MGM or DraftKings, FanDuel would probably have it as well. I'm just thinking, I feel like I've seen it on MGM. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways. I think I'm going to play Tigers money line for at least a half unit. I guess maybe I'll double check my numbers here real quick to see if it's like changed or all that different. But it just feels like, look, they won yesterday big, right? The Astros didn't score any runs, and then
now you
I think, for yeah, then I think there's at least a little bit of value left on the price here at this one. So yeah, I'm gonna dive in -130-ish minus 135-ish, right? Minus 135, minus 134. Half unit. I guess I won't go for a full unit. Valdez could very easily blow up too, but you're getting a pretty nice boost that he doesn't have to face, Jordan in this lineup. And then it looks like they completely saved the bullpen last night just because, Kaiser Montero was great for 7 innings, and then they didn't have to use anybody from the back end there. So I also too think maybe Kai Tang is like a sneaky strikeout play. Like, I think they'll score on him, but I think he might be like a sneaky, like he had 9 strikeouts against him last time in 3 1/3 innings. He got 10 outs. 9 of them were by strikeout. Like, he still gave up 5 runs, right? But, at some point he does have some strikeout upside here. 6-7-6. Then he dropped a 1. Then he went 5-9-4. Like, there's definitely some strikeout upside, and 9 in 3 1/3 innings is pretty impressive. So I think I'll still jump in on Tiger. Like, it probably should be closer to like minus 145, minus 150 now that Jordan's out. We're just not really seeing that. And the over 3.5 first 7, I think, is probably the better way that I'd go.
So there's a question, Amags, from Lee Price about thoughts on Foster Griffin over 5.5 Ks, which at minus 137, which is basically a pick 'em for underdog and prize picks. No Adley still in the lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. I have some thoughts on that. Do you have any immediate reaction to Foster Griffin?
Go ahead.
Look, I think that you're getting a really good line here for Foster Griffin. I know from a first inning standpoint, he's been fantastic. I just pulled up his data for the first 5 innings, assuming that he makes it through the 5th inning. On that Washington rotation, he has, with everybody over more than 10 innings pitched, he has the second highest, just to Jake Irving, but he has the second highest strikeout rate at 26.3% through the first 5 innings. I think, you're looking at that's an inning, and he is absolutely capable of getting that worked into it. He's not one that I would ladder. Looking at this and the way the Orioles have been batting lately, the Orioles, they're about average strikeout rates. Yeah, I would definitely play the over at 5.5.
All right. Well, I think it's a very interesting spot. Where are you getting like minus 137? I was trying to look for that. It looks like it's around minus 150 or so.
No, so that's a prize picks or a underdog designation.
Oh.
Whenever they do those, I guess it's like a predictive market. It's what they call a pick 'em. So you only get 2 choices, but they set the odds at minus 137.
Got you. So I honestly, too, the point of the market is that it's around minus 150 or so, even a little bit worse, and moving to a 6.5 at FanDuel and DraftKings. It looks like. So I think that over is a pretty good look there on Foster Griffin for strikeouts here today. Kind of kicking myself that I didn't take Trevor Rogers on the other side last night. When I looked at him, I think it was maybe through an inning and 2/3, he had like 3 strikeouts, and through like 5, he only had like 4 strikeouts. And I was like, oh, you know what? Like maybe I didn't make a bad decision. And then I look and he went like 7 innings, had 7 strikeouts. And I'm just like, geez, man.
I get it wrong every time I try and attack the Nationals. I get it wrong every time.
It does seem like it could be a bit tricky.
When I leave out, they win. When I leave them out, they get punch outs. When I bet for the over on the strikeouts, they make me look very silly.
So real quick, I want to make sure we don't forget Billy Russo and Jen and some awesome plays from earlier. So Billy Russo says Jason Dominguez hit run RBI. Yeah, he's honestly been really solid. So I do not mind him on the away team hit run RBI. Where's he going to hit today? Middle of the order. But he's been like so much better against left-handers than he was last year. So I really have to give him some credit there. And it's a solid price, in my opinion, for the over 1.5 for a guy in the middle of the Yankees order. Ben Rice was also asked about. I mean, I guess I like him a little bit less against the lefty. I kind of don't know what to make of this kid. I mean, Jake Bennett, I guess on the surface looks fine. If you dig into like some of his numbers, it, maybe makes to give you a little bit pause of like a 50% hard hit rate against righties this year. But the Yankees have just been torn up by these random lefties that the Red Sox roll out, whether it's Peyton Tolley, Connolly Early, now Jake Bennett. Like, it just seems to keep happening where these lefties are crushing the Yankees. I think it might be more of a game plan thing, unfortunately. If you look at Ben Rice, yesterday had the day off, still did pinch hit, it looks like. And then, that was the 0 for 5 the day before. Back in there today, hitting second. I don't mind him. I'm really just not running to back any Yankees right now. Truthfully, I'm not running to back the Yankees on the money line right now. The only one is Paul Goldschmidt, and you do get Goldie leading off today. So I think that might be the one you look to. I was on Goldie, over 1.5 total bases last night, and he was over 4. So it's just like, it seems like, that June swoon, as they call it for the Yankees, is back. Garrett Cole under 5.5 hits allowed. I guess I don't dislike that one. If I go to look at purely numbers wise, a lot of these hits allowed, I haven't been able to really pinpoint all that great this year. I mean, it looks like it's a fine under. He does project over 5 hits allowed, though. So in my opinion, it feels like you're kind of just flipping a coin at that point. Like Cam Schlittler the other night was 4.5 hits allowed, and I was thinking about taking the under. And I was like, at 4.5, like I think they might push him a little bit longer in this game. Like I really haven't been able to pinpoint many hits allowed props. Truthfully, I've hit some, but not too many. So I stayed off it. Wouldn't you know, he gave up 4 hits, but the 5th hit that he gave up was deemed an error on the third baseman. It was 113 miles an hour off the bat. The guy is standing next to third base playing even with the bag. They didn't fully show the replay. I don't know if because of being in Boston, old stadium, not a ton of camera angles. I think that they might not have had the full replay, but it didn't look like it hit his glove, or if it barely did, maybe it barely did. Like I off the bat, it went into left field very easily. It wasn't like it hit and kind of just trickled out there. So it seemed like it was just a hit off the bat. I mean, it hit so hard, and they deemed it an error, which then gives him, I think it was 4 unearned runs. If it wasn't 4, it was 3, which really like saves his ERA for the Cy Young race, which is kind of crazy. So hits allowed, it's all kind of dependent upon that official score. Sometimes like kind of gets tough to bet on under 4.5 really scares me a good bit, but like 5.5 for Cole, under 5.5, I wouldn't mind that one. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he gave up like 3 hits in 1 inning and then like scattered 3 other hits throughout the rest of his start and was fine. But just because of like 1 inning, then, you go over and it's like, well, the projection was 5.5. It's like the number's pretty much right. So kind of why am I betting on it? But it does look like the under is probably the better place to be. I'm not going to bet on the Yankees to win. I think if anything, you just bet on their team total and hope that they bounce back. Day game in Boston against a lefty who I think is susceptible, but again, Yankees haven't been able to tab any of these lefties from the Red Sox. So,
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to anyway. What's the line on Jake Bennett's outs? Because I'm in this like prediction market territory right now, so I don't have the real odds.
Got you. You're getting 14.5 minus 160 to minus 190 to the over.
I would do 15.5 and play the over.
So you could do that. Bet Rivers has 15.5 plus 120 to the over. You could do that. Bet Rivers now last year it wasn't like this. Bet Rivers does not give you the under anymore on pitcher outs. It's just a one-way market over. But because of that, they tend to skew more towards like if it's 17.5, they'll give you 18.5. If it's 14.5, they'll give you 15.5. So they'll just take like the other side of the full inning, and it's like, well, now you just gotta bet the over. So if you can't find an over, but you're in, at least in New York, and there's quite a few other states, Pennsylvania, that have Bet Rivers, can be books as well. There's quite a few other books that utilize the same infrastructure that give you the same odds. So look for those.
I like it. I have the ability to play over 15.5 on this predictions market. It's like, it says plus 122, but it's probably closer to plus 110 or something like that. I like it because I think that's just getting coming out for the 6th inning, getting one out.
Yeah.
He's hit that in 3 of his last 5, I think. And he does not, he gets pulled after about high 70 to 80 pitches. So if he can avoid trouble, that's a nice plus money wager. And if you can't get that, then maybe, I don't know, parlaying the over 14.5 with like something like Michael Wacha. I think his line is like juiced over 17.5.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty good. And shout out to Jen here if she's still around. I know she posted these a bit earlier, but talking about the White Sox, getting away from this Yankees game now. There's still a couple other day games, one of them being in Chicago, the White Sox, Michael Wacha, as you just mentioned, going up against Jen's White Sox and Davis Martin. Jen said she likes Vargas 2+ hits, runs, and RBIs, and then the hometown kid, Michael Massey, on the other side, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I like both of them. Look, last night, Vargas just continues to hit and hit and hit. Last night with the home run, 20 some runs, 22, I think it was, right? They might have scored more after I turned it off. A ridiculous number of runs, and sometimes it might give you pause to like, hey, let's
run it back.
Like maybe they used up all their runs yesterday, but I think you run it back with Miguel Vargas. Really quick here, I'll pull up just the hits, runs, and RBIs for this game. So Colson Montgomery, actually, I think that looks pretty solid too. Yesterday, in a 22-run game, I was sweating Colson Montgomery over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. He finally did get it. But it was literally like double, single, walk, double, strikes out swinging, Colson Montgomery, double. I was just like, how is this possible? Like, it was for 3 like straight at bats. It was like strikes out swinging. Everyone else hits around him, strikes out swinging, strikes out looking. Everyone else hits. And then finally it was like single, Colson Montgomery. And then it was like grand slam, like right after that. So like he needed somebody to hit a grand slam after him, after his measly little single. But another day where he's at plus money, hitting in the middle of that lineup, and we expect him to score some runs. So I don't dislike that one, or even Jack Caglianone on the other side. He projects to go over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs today, and you get him, right around minus 110 or so. You might even be able to find a better price if you use MGM's alt lines. So I like that one. He's been on fire. And then Antonacci and Teal, both from the left side of the plate, both in the top 3 hitters generally. Those guys as well. And then, one more on the other side looks like, Carter Jensen. You're going to get plus money on him over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Looks for a pretty good play at about, plus 110 or so, maybe a little bit less. I do like that one. And you'll have him generally hitting at the top of the lineup. So those would be the guys that I would go with: Vargas, Montgomery, Teal, Caglianone, Antonacci, Jensen. Those would be my favorite guys from this game. But I also think, look, Michael Massey, if that's the hometown kid and Jen knows that. I love stuff that like little wrinkles like that where you're watching the game and all of a sudden they go, yeah, and this guy's got a suite of 27 people. He went to nearby whatever high school, and then he has like 3 home runs, and you're like, how did I know this before the game? So Jen, thank you for giving us that tidbit of information. Hi, Katie Taylor. Good to see you in the chat. Good to see you.
Jesus.
Sanchez. There you go. Sanchez.
It's Jesus.
RBI.
Jesus Sanchez.
That was from the Blue Jays game, which we didn't talk about. But she said she likes Jesus Sanchez there for the Blue Jays against Cal Quantrill. Yeah, I think you really got to side with the Blue Jays. Quantrill against Cease. The only thing is, I think it was like the price. Wow. I think the price was like a bit crazy, was it not? It was minus 190 for the money line.
Yeah.
So maybe it would be like a first 5 run line. First 5 run line. Minus 135. It looks like that's about a fair price.
DraftKings just took all of the Toronto. They just took all the Texas.
Took it all down.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did they?
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying they took? Are they just confirming the lineup? We think potentially it might just be.
Yeah. The only batter props you can get right now is for Toronto.
Yeah, and we're kind of in that in between right now where it's 12, like the 3:00 game. You know, generally you're gonna get those lineups like 2-ish hours before, at worst an hour before. But that one, they might just be confirming the lineup. So yeah, I mean, I think you gotta take a shot against Cal Quantrill. If you look at him last, let me see the. Why is this not coming up? Here we go. I love how they have his Team Canada picture on there when you go to him. Yeah, last time was that first time he had started all season or quite a while. Yeah, all season, his first start. I believe he had been starting in the minors when he was down there, though, for at least a portion of time. Let's see. We can check that. But yeah, only 2 innings last time, 34 pitches, 36 pitches before that. Probably not getting a ton of run, but still it should be all right. He did make 2 starts early. Yeah, 3 starts early in the season in the minors, and then has just worked out of the bullpen in the majors. Definitely can be gotten to, though. I mean, he's had a couple all right appearances, and then the start wasn't bad, I guess. 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. But you're going to definitely be putting some strain on that bullpen regardless. And I side with Dylan Cease for sure. They said I think Sanchez is out. That's what somebody just said. I don't know why this isn't updating my lineup here, but let me see if MLB.
They just took him out because we were talking about him, or what?
So we did get the Texas lineup. It looks like it's a pretty normal cast of characters. Diaz, Ozuna, Duran was projected at the bottom. Hold on, Diaz, Ozuna, Duran. So you lose Ozuna and Duran, and instead you have Nicky Lopez and Kelenic is what the change is. So Nicky Lopez strikeout rate doesn't matter, but Kelenic against righties, 60 plate appearances this year, 38% strikeout rate. I think we go with some Kelenic strikeouts.
Nicky Lopez is one of those guys where you can actually find a player prop, a line for his hits, runs, and RBIs at just 1, not 1.5. And he's cleared that in, I want to say, like 14 of the last 15 games, or in, I want to say 9 straight. He's cleared that.
So to the point about Kelenic, Lee Price asks, is that better for Cease K's? And no, Rick, Sanchez is not out for sure yet. At least it hasn't been confirmed. We don't have the Blue Jays lineup yet. I guess I could check Twitter real quick because sometimes they'll post that from the team account. But no, Cease. I mean, it's actually better for Cease to have Kelenic in there, and you're swapping out two guys with a 14% and 23% strikeout rate for a guy with a 15% and 38. So like it's definitely better for Cease on the strikeout side of things. Not that it's like a major bump, but it's definitely better for him on the strikeout side of things. I mean, the number for Cease is already 7.5 minus 140 to the over. Like,
it's insane.
Not for nothing, but this isn't the Reds and Paul Skeens yesterday. Like, I bet that one at 7.5, which I normally am not up on taking, minus 130 something for over 7.5. But I did take that one on Skeens because it was the Reds, and to Mark's point earlier, right? Like you have guys like Eugenio Suarez that are just strikeout machines in that Reds lineup where you don't really have that all that much in this Texas lineup. I mean, you're looking at these are the percentages for strikeout rates against right-handed pitching this year. I'm just going to go down the lineup that was projected. 19, 18, 23, 20, 18%. So those are all percentages. Those are all, solid in terms of when you want to attack teams and whose strikeout rate. Like, you want to be 25% or worse, at least in my opinion. And I really like when we're getting hitters that are like 27, 28% strikeout rate, into the 30%.
If I got a parlay for you then, Amags, you're going to love this.
What do we got? What do we got?
This is we call it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Weekday Wagers. I call it the 3K sit-down parlay because we're looking for 3 guys to get at least 1 strikeout plus money.
I think we did this last time, right?
Yep, we hit it. So this one's at plus 102. The aforementioned Eugenio Suarez to get at least 1 strikeout. Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies to get at least 1 strikeout. And Ezekiel Tovar of the Rockies to get at least 1 strikeout. You put all 3 of them together, it's plus 102 over on DraftKings right now. To your point, Amags, Ezekiel Tovar is the guy there with the best strikeout rate. And by best, I mean lowest strikeout rate. And that's at 37% over the last 15 games.
What was the price on that?
Plus 102. Tovar is at 37%, and that's the guy that we have the biggest challenge with because Schwarber and Suarez are closer to 50% strikeout rates than anybody else. So I love picking on Schwarber and Suarez every single day, and then finding another good batter to really get us over that into that plus money territory. But I like that play. I just put that one in, actually.
I like it. And another guy that I love from that Rockies lineup is Hunter Goodman. That's another
solid one.
Just a K machine, man. And you'll still get, like, I've found Goodman against some pitchers who are really not maybe seen as strikeout pitchers, but they can get, some right-handed hitters out. I've seen some like plus 165, plus 185 on the at-bat strikeouts. And I'm just like, how can you not sit here and just bet that every single time?
Right.
On a guy, with a 30% strikeout rate against right-handed pitching, like casually 30% against righties.
Here's a nugget. If you're going to target the Colorado Rockies, you target them away from Coors Field. They are 2 dynamically different teams versus when they're playing in Denver or anywhere else in the country. Anywhere outside of Colorado, this Rocky team tends to overswing. Hunter Goodman is a perfect example of that. The dude will hit a normal fly ball in any other park, but in Denver, the thing sails out for a home run. He has to overswing because he's trying to hit the ball harder because it doesn't fly as far. He overswings, throws off his rhythm. He is a strikeout machine on the road. It's just one of those things. If you're going to live bet in an at bat for a strikeout result, Hunter Goodman, Ezekiel Tovar, those guys are prime candidates for the Rockies.
So I definitely do agree with you there. And if you look at his home and away, like he's slightly, I guess, worse at home, but like the numbers are pretty much exactly the same. But just the numbers for him at home this year versus last year are like ridiculous. He was over 300 hitter at home last year. right? This year, the 193 hitter at home. He's 281 on the road. Like it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. The difference there. I wouldn't doubt that you have hitters, even like pretty much every hitter from this lineup, that in cores they have a bit of a different swing than on the road. Like I would have to think that certainly makes sense.
And I would actually argue that with your data that you just gave out, what that would suggest is that he's trying to lift the ball when he's at home instead of just drive it. And because he's trying to lift it to get it to carry a little bit further, maybe get that home run or that extra base hit, ends up turning into just long flight outs. And that's why his batting average is so low at home versus when he's on the road.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if he's just like pressing at home right now. Like it seems like he's probably just pressing at home. Like I said, the strikeout numbers are like pretty much the same though, both sides. Some interesting stuff there. So Jason said it's Yordan's B-Day. They didn't put him in the lineup because it's his birthday? Is that
what
like
did he do
real?
last night? What did he do last night? He might have gone out.
Yeah, he might have left.
He might have had a celebration. He might have woke up feeling like I am Stanek.
Well, I mean, they didn't do anything last night is the thing. So did he get pulled early from this game? Yeah, he did. They pulled him early from the game.
While you're looking at that, if I can just give a quick shout out to my guy, Robbie Hockey, who is in the chat. Not only has he been killing it on his home run props, dude, he just takes CAGs every single day. I'm kidding. He doesn't do that, but he'll get the joke. He likes Montgomery for a home run today.
There you go. Colson Montgomery.
Yep. And he has been hammering this 1+ hit run RBI parlay. And he's been cashing, in all seriousness, cashes that so many times. But he likes Alec Burleson, Luis Arias, and Nick Kurtz to all get at least one hit run or RBI at plus 114.
I like that. Can't bet it, but I like it.
So Joe Espada confirmed earlier today that this was a scheduled off day that's been planned for quite a while for Jordan.
What does that sound like? He goes, "Hey, it's my birthday. I'm not playing on my birthday."
So he's been he went
last night.
So the tweet that it was in reference to said on his 29th birthday, Jordan Alvarez is out of the Astros lineup for the second time all season. He's gone hitless in his past 3 games, longest streak of the season. Maybe he like had some plans that he's just been like thinking about. He can't focus on anything else. And he's
Rick Funcannon is right.
So when he's back in the lineup, we should bet on him. Like when he gets back, now he's gonna have that like cleared out. Like he's not worried about nothing anymore, not thinking about it. He's had his birthday celebration. And then now he's more focused and we come. So remember that when Jordan
partied last night hard.
When he might.
I am Stanek just put sorry, Jordan was out with me last night.
Well, now we know where he was, so thank you.
Rick Funcannon, you're absolutely right, dude. He's absolutely he's out. He's probably having a liquid IV right now.
Robbie Hockey just gonna highlight his play that he threw up. I like that a lot. I'm gonna go throw that one in after this. Like I said, I already was liking Colson Montgomery at that price for 2+ hits, runs, and RBIs. So I do like the home run look from him as well there.
I'm having a hard time right now looking at this Dylan Cease number and not wanting to play the under on his Ks. He's on 5 days rest through 110 pitches last game on Monday.
We've got Lee Price asking about Alan Rangel potentially, who threw 72 pitches last time, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. On a home run and a hit batsman, 4 strikeouts. Before that, he had a 3-inning, 3-hit, 1
Those
run
are all
appearance.
in relief. Those aren't starts.
Yeah, my bad. So they were both relief outings, but
Yeah.
he threw long enough there to where he should be fine in terms of like getting through 5 innings if they need him to, if they're going to push him there. I'm not seeing any information that he's like going to be limited in a significant way. I don't know if you guys have seen anything about him being limited in a significant way, but yeah, even the projection, let me see here. So like even the outs projection is like actually closer to 15. So I don't even mind over, 14 and a half outs here at plus money. I mean, over 13 and a half at FanDuel minus 135. I mean, he threw 70 plus pitches last time, completed 5 innings, and hasn't been bad whatsoever. I think the Mets are certainly a fade team right now. I think I like Alan Rangel over 13 and a half outs if you can get it there on FanDuel.
Yeah, DraftKings has it at 14 and a half now for Rangel.
Yeah, minus 136 here on FanDuel. I'm going to take the over on 13 and a half outs for Alan Rangel there. But you know what? Maybe over 14 and a half is the better play, right? If he goes over 13 and a half, probably going to go full 5 innings at that point. I think it'd be really, right. You're going to be hard pressed to pull him at 4. If you get pulled at 4 2/3, it is what it is, but you're going to pay 40 cents less or you're going to pay 40 cents more to have that protection of an extra out. Yeah, I think over 13 and a half is fine, but over 14 and a half, what's the best price maybe we could get here on the over 14 and a half? Let's look.
DraftKings has it at 115.
Plus 115, huh?
No, minus.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, I'm looking for a plus money somewhere here. Looks like MGM can still get plus money. And to be fair, it doesn't like pop up as a super strong like numbers play, but it's also tough to project stuff for guys that have 2 appearances, right? Like there's so much
and no starts.
You got the door
appearances.
There's so much variance, and like I haven't been incredibly tapped in, so maybe I guess I could be wrong, but like I'm assuming if they're starting him here, they like what they've seen the last 2 times, and they're going to give him a shot to start here.
BetMGM has over 14 and a half at even money plus 100.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way that I'll go. And hey, you know what? If he goes 4 2/3, I guess I'll eat crow, right? Like if he goes 4 2/3 and over 13 and a half cashes and over 14 and a half doesn't. Who just bet that? Who just bet that? Because I just got minus 105 now when I click send. Who did that?
I did not. I
know
saw it drop too.
It was somebody that clicked at the same time as me, probably.
Jeff. It was Jeff.
Took 5 cents from me. 5 cents value. Dirty, slimy person.
But to your point, I think that what happens is if he gets to 13 outs, they're going to let him get to that 5th inning because they're right now, look, they're doing everything they can to save their bullpen. And I think that's the biggest. They're going to milk every single out that they can get from Rangel tonight in an effort to do just that against a Mets team that, quite frankly, will allow you to get some extended innings from guys that normally won't give you extended innings.
Yeah,
the Mets are in shambles right now, and firing their manager is not the answer.
I don't think we have. Yeah, we don't have a lineup yet. But I mean, if you look at the Mets just over the last month or so against right-handed pitching, they've been pretty average, like a 708 OPS. It's actually like in the bottom third, 99 WRC plus, rather league average. Against righties, they're striking out at 25%, which is a top 5 rate in June. So potentially letting him get out of some jams with a strikeout. And as well, you do have Juan Soto likely back in there, Francisco Lindor in there. So that changes things maybe a little bit on the strikeout front, but still, you've got guys in the bottom of the order that are striking out a bunch that aren't producing all that much. Alan Rangel, there's not like a ton to love in the underlying stuff, but the only thought is like they've got to dodge the weather. But I don't think they're going to start this game at 4:00 if it's raining. And it looks like, at least from Kevin Roth, he says, looks like a decent amount of rain early, mostly clearing through the late afternoon. Best guess is a late start and play. So, like, I don't think they're starting it in the rain. And there shouldn't be rain after they start it. So I think we should be good on an outs play. If we get hit with rain, we get hit with rain, I guess. But I think I'm going to take the over on the outs here, plus 100 on MGM. I already hit send, but I think that's the way to go. Half unit. I didn't go full unit on it, but half unit. Rick asked about the White Sox. I'll take the White Sox today. I like the White Sox backing them with Davis Martin. Billy Russo says Gusto has been getting hammered by lefties, which is true, I believe. Ryan Gusto. I'm also not like a huge fan of Ryan Gusto, I guess I should say. I mean, he's like bounced around a little bit between Houston and Miami now. He's nearing 30 years old. It's not like he's ever really produced anything like significantly great.
What's not to like? He's got a 6 ERA.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But even if you look at him last year with the two teams, it was a 5.67 in 27 games. It was 100 innings where he allowed 64 runs and 114 hits and in 100 innings. So, it was about a strikeout per inning. I guess I'll give him that. He can still strike some guys out. Had 6 last time against San Fran, which definitely does, if you see some of his higher strikeout numbers here, you had 4 in 4 innings and 6 in 4 1/3. Each of those against Arizona and San Fran were good starts. Good, I say, in terms of just not giving up runs. It's not like he lasted very long or anything, but he at least, a strikeout per inning. Then it seems like he gets out of stuff. Whereas against the Phillies, it was 4 2/3, only 1 strikeout. That's when he gave up 8 hits and 5 runs. So the starts where he has lower strikeout numbers, Tampa Bay, he started 2 innings, 3 earned, 3 hits, only 1 strikeout. That's I guess where I look for him to say like if he's going to be successful or not. Like, can he strike some of these guys out to get out of some of those jams? Because he's letting guys on base regardless. If you look at him against this lineup, really only 2 guys in the St. Louis lineup, or at least their projected lineup, Walker and Crooks, who are at 25% or more. Everyone else is 16%, 16%, 16, 22, 20, 10, and then 22. So there's not a ton of strikeouts to be had. There's some walks in here as well. And then, it's the issues with the lefties. You're going to face 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, hold on. I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the projected lineup. Those being Weatherholt, Burleson, Nootbaar, Crooks, Church. I think I like Weatherholt, Burleson, and Nootbaar the best out of those 3. Anything to say on that specific game? I know it's a little bit later. It's 7:00, but Marlins Cardinals.
No, I was just looking to see if I had anything on that. I don't.
All right. Well, we've also got. There's so many questions and plays, so I want to try to highlight as many as we can. But we've got Billy Russo throwing out play after play. We got Martez Denny. I think I said that right. What up, Martez Denny? Ben Rice or Colson Montgomery over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Ben Rice going against a rookie pitcher and has not done well lately. I'm going to take Colson Montgomery at that point. I do like Colson Montgomery against Michael Wacha. The price was like almost plus 110 for Colson over 1.5. I think that I would take that one, but I will at least say Ben Rice off an off day might have just got himself right. I get that it's a left on left matchup. And if you look at this Bennett kid, he's been great, like really great against lefties specifically. So we'll see what happens. But you know what? Like if I had to choose one of them, I'd go Colson, but something says Ben Rice might do something here today. Like kind of sucks to get sat down. So, and to get sat down because you're struggling a little bit. So might see him here. And we also got Martez talking about Burleson, hits, runs, RBIs, and bases. And I wouldn't mind the bases there. Any extra base hit is going to cash that for you. You're still probably getting plus money, I'm assuming, for 2+ total bases. So I like that one. Yeah, Nuke Bar. There you go. Nuke Bar, talking about Lars Nuke Bar. I like him. And I also like him for your fantasy team. See if he's still out there for your fantasy teams. He's really a solid piece for your fantasy teams. All right. I'm not going to dive too much into like any of the later games. So if there's anything specific that you guys, either of you like or you have, look there's Squishy's got his son on the camera. What up? Say what's up.
I like it.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
The only other thing I add, if you're looking for your Nerfy play, that Washington's the Nationals-Orioles game is another one I like for a Nerfy. In that one, Griffin and Young both bring really, really strong first-inning profiles into that. And honestly, both offenses have really cooled off on their home and away splits over the last 30 days. But other than that, that's all I've got. I've got to run because we have a gig that we are playing this afternoon. And
I'd love to hear that.
Music never ends. I was at the NHL draft last night. Came all the way back because we have this gig today, or else I'd still be out in Buffalo.
Well, that's awesome. Hey, I think that's a great spot to end as well. We got Billy Russo throwing some extras in there, and yes, I do want to look to maybe some Tigers here today. I'm going to back the Tigers for a half unit on the money line, so hopefully they do it against Tang. Riley Green to have a single, he says, plus 111. I love it. And I love that everybody joined us here today. Thank you so much. We ran a little longer than I wanted, but I've got nowhere else to be except to go get myself some food. So we've got Squishy's son on the camera. What a great way. Here we go. Hold on.
I love it.
There we go. What a great way to end this, right? If you got any other questions or you need me, you know where to find me. I'll be in the Sports Line Discord. I'll be on Twitter. Shoot me a message, or I'd rather you tweet me if you have a question, then I could share it with everybody else. So if you have any questions, tweet me. I'll try to quote tweet it, give out some info that I'm seeing and stuff like that. But yes, enjoy the weather. I'm going to get outside and get myself a little snack, some food or something, some lunch. And hopefully everyone's cashing some bets.
You got it.
All right, Squishy, enjoy your trip. Enjoy your vacation. Mark, enjoy the gig. And
hey, thanks, guys.
Out there, enjoy the MLB games today. I will
Best
see
of luck.
y'all
Thank you.
tomorrow.